Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs Show. This is the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos.
Ooh,
Yeah.
9.5 point spread here. It's in Orchard Park. Bills Mafia. Broncos were one of the darlings of the NFL this year, but unfortunately they got dealt the bad hand of having to go to Buffalo in round one. Totals 47.5. We'll give it to Cam.
if anybody knows about Orchard Park and the playoff time, it's me, the Dolphin fan. So I genuinely don't think Bo Nix is ready. Bo Nix is a rookie quarterback going into Orchard Park. It is going to be loud. It is going to be egregious. It is going to be cold. And every time it comes to the Bills, we're like, oh, like freezing weather, a lot of winds. Josh Allen's going to have to run the ball more. They're going to have to do this more. That's never the case in any Josh Allen game, no matter how cold it is. And it's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. These quarterbacks somehow find a way to air that motherfucker out, no matter how cold or windy it is. So I'm taking Josh Allen with the spread. You don't bet against Josh Allen when the conditions are on his side, when he has home advantage, and let alone the first round of the playoffs. So I think the Broncos, they they just don't have the weapons. They don't have the team. They don't have the know-it-all that Josh Allen has. They don't have the random big plays that Josh Allen can just scramble out the pocket and throw a 40-yard accurate ball. And I've seen it with my own eyes, and it is dismantling to a team when Josh Allen can do something like that. No matter how perfect your defense is, no matter how great your pass rush is, you're not getting to nothing can stop a Josh Allen scramble out the pocket and he throws a running back just randomly breaks a wheel route and he throws it for 50 yards and it's on the money. You can't stop that. So Patrick Surtain, Riley Moss, God bless their DBs and the routes that they have to cover. They're going to be 10 seconds long. So Bills spread, honestly.
Broncos are probably going to get their ass whooped. And it's unfortunate because, like Tom, you mentioned, they were kind of the Cinderella of this NFL season. A lot of people were delightly surprised by how good Bo Nix was. And, but I think their season comes to an end here in Buffalo. And I feel like they just don't have enough on offense. And even though their defense has been really, really good, this is Josh Allen we're talking about, like in Buffalo, like in where all the conditions are terrible, and like you said, Cam, it's windy, it's cold, and this man will still throw a 80-yard goal ball to Keon Coleman, and it'll be right on the money, and yeah. So give me the Bills. I don't care what the spread is; they're going to win by 100.
I think if we all really sat and thought for like 2 to 3 minutes, at least some of us like could probably come up with multiple primetime games where the Bills just absolutely blew someone out. They've been known to blow out teams on primetime, blow out bad teams. And I feel like this is going to be one of those. The Broncos aren't a bad team, but playoff game, rookie quarterback, and it's Bo Nix out of all rookie quarterbacks. I just don't think they're man enough. Like they not man enough, but they have enough men. Like they have enough people. I feel like their defense has been good all year, but it's not going to stop the Bills' offense. And I just feel like Bo is going to struggle in his first playoff game, and the Bills are known to blow teams out. Um, Josh has just been, as everyone said, is amazing, and I think that not a lot of people have been lost like three AFC championships or however many he's lost. So I feel like not too many teams are hungrier than the Bills, or at least like the people who've been on there for a couple years. And I feel like Josh has had the most often disappointing losses. So I feel like he's probably one of the hungrier quarterbacks out there, and this is probably gonna be easy for him almost like with how probably locked in he is in the playoffs and the Broncos being his first opponent. I think he's probably going to take care of business. And I just don't think the Broncos stand a chance. I'm also going to take the under. I think the Bills get up really big at first, and then it's going to be like 28-3, and people are going to be like, oh, the over's definitely hitting. And then they're just going to run the ball out for the second half, and it's going to end like 35-10 and go under if I had to guess what the final score would be.
Most accurate Bills game that I could ever see happening.
Literally. So that's what I'm assuming. They're going to get out big and then run the clock out in the second half. And because they're going to dominate the Broncos. The Broncos are probably get no more than like 10 to 14 points if I had to guess. So definitely taking the Bills. It should be an easy first game for them, first playoff game for them this year. And I'm definitely thinking that this game goes under.
Quick fact check: Josh Allen's only been in one AFC Championship game.
Ooh.
One?
That was
Oh,
the 13 seconds.
Okay. Well, he's lost in a lot of second rounds, whatever it is. Heartbreaking losses too. So like maybe they weren't all AFC championships, but they were all, as he was going on, and they were all, or not all of them, but at least most of them were pretty heartbreaking, close games. So they weren't AFC championships. I just assumed they were.
Thing that scares me the most is like Allen is like he wins the big games, and there's quite literally no one on that team that I could like name off the back of my hand that's a star-studded like dog. Like Amari Cooper, you got him, but what is
James
he?
Cook. James Cook's a dog.
James Cook, but that's like a run game running back. Like we don't look to him to throw him the ball. You know what I mean? Like there's no receivers on that team where it's like if we don't get him the ball, we lose.
Honestly, Khalil Shakir has been like their best receiver this year.
I mean, that's kind of what's made them good is that they're just like a solid unit of number two receivers.
Yeah.
And they got Kincaid and
Kincaid's a dog.
what's
Two
his
things.
name? The
One,
other
the
guy.
Broncos are in because the Chiefs fear them the least, and they chose to lose because they don't want to face anyone else. Second of all, Bills win primetime cold weather games. Give me the Bills no matter what.
Uh, as soon as you said that, first thing that came to mind was primetime game against the Ravens. They got blown out by 30.
And
I'll
this
be
is not the
honest-
Ravens, though. This
It
is
wasn't
Bo
cold.
Nix.
It wasn't
This
cold
is-
then.
Yeah,
This
that's
is-
true. It probably was not very cold that day. That was pretty early on in the season.
Well,
I'll be the odd man out. I'm taking the Denver Broncos here, plus 9.5.
Wow.
If you remember, not too long ago, it was like a little bit more than a year. Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos actually beat the Buffalo Bills in one of Russ's final starts with Denver, and everybody said that team was fucking horrible. Obviously, Bo Nix now it's a different team, but a lot of the surrounding pieces are the same, and I think that their defense is better now than it was then. We've seen Nick Bonito turn into an absolute stud on the defensive end. Patrick Surtain, I think, is the current favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. I like 7. I like 9.5. I think that this is too many points. Obviously, I think the Bills are going to win, but I think this will be maybe a 7, 8, 9, maybe even 9 point game, and the Broncos still cover this game. Um, Obviously, like you could say that the game would have been more entertaining if it was the Bengals, which is probably true. But I think that the Broncos got into the dance because they didn't lose to the Patriots at home like the Bengals did, and you got to give them respect for that. This isn't a last year situation where the Steelers with Mason Rudolph are coming to town. I think the Broncos are a good ball club, and I like 9.5. It's too many points. Same thing I said for the Steelers game. 9.5 in a playoff game. It's disrespectful. This team got into the playoffs too, so. Yeah, Bills win, but plus 9.5. I like it.
Bills minus 9.5. The only way I think can be close if they get a huge lead in the first half and then put in Mitch and he kind of cuts it down. It's my only worry. But that's it. But the thing Tommy said kind of reminded me of when the Bills killed the Patriots by like 50 a couple of years ago in the wild card game. So I guess that's
Well, I
an
think that Bo
exception
Nix,
to the clause.
Bo Nix is a lot better than Mac Jones, but also,
Matt Jones was a rookie year Pro Bowler, and he led us to the playoffs in his rookie year. So,
and then you guys shipped him out of town. So what happened?
we're talking about the rookie year. I honestly, he might have been better than Bo Nix rookie year.
Also, shout out Kyer. I put the Bills hat on. It's all black, so you can't really tell it's a Bills hat. But
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I thought that was a magnet.
When's he getting on the? When's Kyer getting on the show?
bring Kyer to Pittsburgh. We need fucking corners. I've been saying it for 2 years now. But hey, shout out Kyer.
Anyone who draws the Bills as a matchup and has to go to Buffalo for a primetime game in the depths of January, where it is cold as hell, windy, it's probably going to snow at any given moment, and those fans are drunker than I don't want to say it, but those fans are very drunk and they are very rowdy. It is a tough place to go to. And
Were you gonna say Sandy on a boat? Is that what you're gonna say?
I wasn't, but we can go.
Or were
with
you going to
that.
say yourself after 2 beers?
Well, you're the one who calls me fat, so if that's the case, then I should be able to handle more beer.
You're
What
a fat
pickle me?
lightweight. You're like the worst combination.
Okay, all right. We'll leave that there, but yeah, everything I said there stands. That it's a tough place to play, and Broncos. I don't really want to feed into the whole Bo Nix is a rookie. It's gonna be really tough for him to go in there, but it is. as a rookie going into the playoffs, your first matchup, I mean, look over on the other side. Jaden Daniels gets to go and play in the warm weather in Tampa against a team that limped into the playoffs. Not a bad team, but I'm not shitting on Daniels by any means. But it's like this is a tough situation for a rookie QB in his first playoff game to go into. And the Bills, we came into this year being like, is their window closed? Like, is it over? Like, did they miss their chance? And they proved us all wrong and had the best season they've had in years. Um, and like you all said before, just doing shit with kind of guys that no one ever expected to do stuff. Allen's been a stud. I expect him to be a stud continuing. I expect a couple turnovers. I expect Bo Nix to get a little rattled, and I'm not going to put it on my card, but I think we're going to see a 30 plus yard Josh Allen touchdown run. I think we're going to see that, and then I think we're looking at some sort of like a 38 to 19 win for Buffalo here. And
I don't have it in front of me. If you kept talking there, I was going to look it up, but I think Josh Allen over on rushing yards is probably a safe bet.
yeah,
Especially that Broncos front is solid, so he'll probably escape the pocket a few times, and that'll add to that. But hey, like and subscribe, tell your friends, and yeah, this game may be the worst game of the weekend, but maybe not. Maybe the Broncos surprise us all, which would help out a lot for the Steelers' sake.
If they make it out of Baltimore.